Hello everybody, it's back at TV's cabin here. I'm just thinking on a few things. I wanted to on my well series today. My first one. This is just a little note about it. When I said that building, it was pointing at the neighbor's house, and I wasn't meaning her house was going to be my battery pack shed. I'll tell you, I'm bad with the cameras. So anyway, I just wanted to let you know about that, what happened there. I still plan on trying to get my well supplies to drill the well tomorrow. I probably won't be drilling tomorrow because I've got to go to town. I've got to try to look me up a 2-inch or mud pump, or at least 1.5 inch water mud pump. The mud pumps have bigger turbulent gears in them, more or less, like they have a lot bigger rotators than what your regular water pump is. Your water pumps will stop up. You run mud through that water pump, a regular water pump. I have 2 regular water pumps. One of them's a well pump, that is a 1/2 inch well pump above ground, and then I have one that is a concession stand pump, and it's even smaller, but it'll pump up to 35 feet. It's supposed to, but I doubt it's got that much horse on a continuous deal without burning it up. That little one. Now the big one might do it. My 1.5 inch pump probably would pump water, but for as pumping it, like I say, for as being able to pump it through a mud pump, nope. And I won't be able to go bigger. I know I could use my well pump, but I could hook it to a garden hose. True. I mean, I could hook up my little well pump to a garden hose from the rural water, and I could pump water down that well a lot faster than what you can with a regular, well, you know, with just a regular hose, because that pump would be pumping that water twice as fast. But I can't. But it still won't let me cut a bigger hole. I'm gonna try to either get 5-inch pipe or 6-inch pipe on the outside for the channel for the guide pipe. Now, granted, that piece will cost me. I'll probably buy about 10 foot or maybe 20 foot of it. I don't know. See how much it costs and just make up my mind. But anyway, even if I get 10 foot, see, I could go 6 feet in the ground, put a T on it, run it over a 4 foot to the mud trough, and then I've got a way of making a screen, I think. But I'm gonna have to get some materials to build the portable mud trough. So I'm gonna use probably get some wood, pine, I don't know, figure out something. Maybe use plywood or whatever's cheaper. Or I may go with some 1-inch pine and seal it with some type of silicone because of some type to seal it up, and I'll probably make all that stuff tomorrow. So with that being said, if I can get all my stuff ready, I might start drilling Saturday. If not, it'll be sometime next week, unless it's raining tomorrow or the next day. Like I say, I only got about 3 foot down start, and if it ain't, if the hole's not big enough to go with 6, I'll have to widen that out even. You see what I'm saying? So, and what I'll do with the 6 foot of pipe that I'm going to use, I'll just cut teeth on it to work it down in the ground enough to get by with it, to where I can for the guide channel is all it amounts to. It's a guide channel, and that allows when the water comes up, that slick pipe, it'll just come right up there, pushed by the water force coming down through your 3-inch pipe. Is what I'm hoping for anyway. And I'm going to build a special bit on the end of it, of that pipe. Wouldn't it be something if you could get that darn bit to spin through the center of the pipe somehow on a power motor, but you can't. No, you got to have that motor out of the way so you can push your settlings to the top with the water pump, you know. But anyway, it was just a crazy thought hit my mind just now. But anyway, I'll have to build I'd like to cut a 3 1/4 or 3 1/2 inch depth hole all the way down. That'd give me enough room to get a 3-inch submergible pump in there, probably a 1/2 inch pump, submergible pump that would pump all the water I'd need. You know, I know I can get one of them from Atwoods, but that over here at Atwoods they want $3.29. I forget what it was at Lowe's. And then there's a place on the internet that the water well drilling guy told me about. Mike Willis, Mr. Willis, told me about, and I could check his well pumps out, but I'd have to order it from him. But he does, they say, give a good warranty on his. So you know, y'all, if you decide to drill your well and you want a submergible pump or any kind of pump, that they probably do have a better warranty on their pump, probably than what I'll get at Atwoods. But poor boys have to buy cheap, and that's what happens. You know, it'll probably. I've had them little cheap pumps last me 6-7 years, and then other time, you know, something like that, and then you have to replace them, take them out, and put in or buy a motor to put on it, and it was just as cheap for us at that time to go and buy another water pump as it was to buy the motor. When I was a kid, sometimes it was cheaper to buy the motor and put it on there. You know, the motor is usually what burns out. Pumps don't really burn out. The pump part of it pretty much is got a spinner gear that I call it a gear. It's not really a gear. It's kind of like a paddle in there that spins that water up and to bring it up to the top. And the submergible pump is kind of screened pretty good to keep it from getting stopped up too bad. It's kind of like a foot valve, but it's not. Now it can be stopped up if you get mud and stuff in that pump. So you don't want it quite on the bottom, but you want it to go down almost to the bottom. And like I say, be sure and use a cable and securing that cable to the pump. Because if you lose it off your hose, you 30 feet down, you can about kiss or farther, you can just about kiss that pump goodbye. You don't never get it out of there. I just got lucky one time and got one out. But it was about that, I guess 25, 30 feet deep, something like that. And it took me a week getting my pump back. My daddy tied it off with a darn cotton rope, thinking, well, after several years, guess what? It rots. And, of course, when we went to pull the pump out of the well, the clamp came loose from the holes on top of it, the plastic pipe that you got to have to connect to the top of your pump. So as we were pulling it out of the well, boom, we heard something. It got off a light all of a sudden. I heard the darn pump hit the bottom of the darn well. So somebody didn't tighten up, for one thing, didn't tighten up the clamp on the hose tight enough. So now Paul's mad, but it's down in there. Nothing he can do about it. So off he goes trying to figure out what he's going to do in order to get another pump, you know, and he knows he's going to have to buy another pump, and whether he can run it down in there deep enough to, you know, to be able to get water now, because it's going to be 3 feet above the other one, he's thinking. So I kept messing around till I thought of something, and I remember there's electric cords on the side of that pump, see, that run down the side of it there for the motor and stuff. It's little electric wires. They're probably 8 or maybe 6 gauge wires, heavy duty. So I just took me a clothesline wire, but put a hook on it, run it down in there, and done some fishing, and I finally got it hooked into those wires, and I hand over handed that sucker until I got it up out of there. But you don't normally get lucky and get the pump back once it's gone. We were lucky we got that one back. So now then we was able to reconnect it, but we went to town and got us 1/4 inch cable, put on that sucker and clamped it in 2 places to make sure we